Good morning, everybody. Breaking the storm. It's supposed to have been downpouring for like 16 days straight, but for some reason we're getting a little bit of a gap in the middle here. Blew my fence over. Pond is full over 6 times. But we got some metalworking projects to knock out today. Start off, we found a 7-foot wide scraper box to go behind the Kubota. Yep, the 6-foot wide one, too narrow. We need the 84 inch, not the 72. Also, I have this Highway Products badass slip toolbox kind of deal, and it's out of aluminum. We need to weld up a couple broken spots on that thing, weld the headache rack back on it. So we're gonna work on that today. Let's start off by getting this bad boy in the shop. Now, before I get the tractor out of play, I just want to elaborate on this. It's not a 25 horsepower off-the-shelf Kubota. It's actually decent size, 51 horsepower. It's got a tiny turbo, but it's got the wide stance. It's got the extra weight added in the rear. Tires are obviously filled, but this thing's made to be stable on some slopes, and I really like that. But this is a 6-foot wide box. It's 82 inch wide as a machine. So this box, it somehow is off-center there. But you got a 72 versus 82, so we're 10 inches narrow on the box. It may not look it on here, but the math is there. I've measured it several times because it barely fits in the dump trailer, and it won't after this. So I've been hunting for one of these, but this was really the only one that I found that was a 84 inch wide. So it'll be 2 inches wider than the machine, so the cutting width is just about perfect. But it was low use. The guy upgraded to hydraulic ripper. Would have been nice to get one of those, but I didn't really need one and didn't justify spending triple the amount. I found this one for a song, got there, and it was actually bent. So we got another $100 off of it, and I appreciated the guy's willingness to work on the price. He wanted to fix it there, but it's starting to rain, and we said it should bring it back to the shop if he can work on the price. So I'm going to flip it over, show you where it's bent, and we're going to fix that, and then weld up the toolbox. Hopefully all goes to plan. We got a better deal because you just line it up with the back there. See if I can do this. I just playing with my torches, and my eyes are kind of screwed because I was an idiot. But that's dropped down quite a bit, and it's been wearing like that for a while. You can see the cutting edge is a little goofy. So this thing got smoked on a stump. You can see the difference here. Touching, not touching. So I think I'm gonna tip this thing farther back over if I can do it by hand without killing myself. We're gonna heat that up, and I got chain binder, chain, and we're gonna see if we can pull that thing back really close to straight. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I want to make it right. And then this thing, the big canopy lid for it, the weld correct. Well, just for size testing. Just pop that thing off, and it's actually broke right there. Right here in the mix, so you can see the tension coming down. Hard to tell because I let it go since I'm pressure pointing that one spot so tough. Blade around. I like it. I mean, it's such a long span going across there, and it's relying on the strength of the cutting edge and this piece of 3x3, maybe 1/4 inch angle iron. I got that close, but this is what sucks about it is this thing, I didn't realize when I bought it or when I went to go get it because of the hour-plus drive, it was the floating rear end, which kind of, it takes strength away from it, and just kind of like a dang it. But I'm thinking if I welded a piece right here, this is going past my budgeted hour that I had planned for this, but I need to go all the way end to end to make it count. I don't know if I got a piece of steel that long. Maybe slab a couple together. But I got to weld this back up because it actually cracked right there. So these holes are all weakness too, but those holes are released for these bolts, which they don't come all the way through, they just kind of poke at. Alright. I'm going to weld this to it. That'll give me tons of extra strength. And then I just need to gap the end because I need to find another piece of this stuff, to be honest with you. But I'm going to put a little bit of preload on it so that it's that's saying what it is right there. I don't need to do any more than just say it. Preload. Check this out. Alright, you guys want to see something funny? I'm about to throw a lightsaber around in here, okay? It's not going to be pretty, and it's probably going to smoke a couple of these sticks because they get stuck on my implement here. I have not used a stick welder since 2007, freshman year of high school, alright? Mainly because we had to, in shop class, we had to learn how to use this. And honestly, once you've done any kind of, MIG welding, wire feed, it's just so much simpler and easier. It just gets the job done more efficiently. But Taylor's grandpa hooked me up with his old torches, which we used today for the first time. I really appreciate that. I've never had a set, mainly because I never needed a set, because I just haven't needed them really. But today worked out perfect. And he also hooked me up with his old welder. So we're gonna run through a couple more sticks of this on here. You guys ready to see something funny? It's been a while, okay? They run over the grinder. This is making an awful mess in the shop. Unload. Sweet Jesus. Last stick, and then I'm switching back to my normal stuff. Well, I think I put enough weld on there that I'm not too worried about it. 20 of those sticks, 20 minutes worth of that. Seems like you can cover ground a lot farther or faster with the stick welder, but alright, what am I here, folks? Here we go. I'll check the straight edge with the straight edge ground. Really pretty happy with that. See what the problem was before? Since this thing is at an angle, it gets hit in the center. It doesn't just bow it back. It's like, how do I explain this? So if you got a straight edge like this and it bends it like that, that's all fine. But since it's at an angle, now it's got a high or a low spot. So it had actually a low spot, so it was digging a ditch. That looks pretty nice. I like it. Oh yeah. That's nice. Yeah, now Now we're talking. Look at that. It actually, it's 84-inch wide scraper box. Lean a little bit heavy to this side. Gosh dang it, I thought I had it centered. I'd rather have it a little bit wide. We got, shoot, only an inch on this one. Let's try it out. Wow, this bad boy's got some height. That's pretty much touring all the way up. Holy crap. I got some puddles right here I kind of want to fill. I think I'm not filling them. Wow. Okay. For anybody that's actually interested in this, this floats. I'm not used to doing that, okay? I'm used to being able to tilt the box all the way to the back and this be your back drag. It don't do that. So that's why it's digging in so good, which is nice because the standard box that's fixed back there, it won't dig in like this one just did. So I was able to harvest a bunch of material and bring it over to this low spot. Because I tried to fix this low spot the other day because it just turns into an absolute puddle. So you'll need to cut a couple of reliefs so that stuff can kind of get out. But it was, man, it was almost a pond over here. So we'll just, a little bit of relief. Yeah, it's better than nothing. But that's a big improvement. Let's go work on something else down the shop. Somehow the rain has not destroyed us right now. But that's, oh, just look at the tires. We got full working area and then some before the tires get involved. That's just good. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. You guys are saying, why didn't I just add to this? Well, it's not just add and make it wider. You got to do it on both sides so I think it stays centered. And this is actually for my dad's Kubota. It's smaller than this one, so he still needs this, so I can't cut it up. But you see the difference here. Man, this is thicker. That one came factory with a support in the center. This one actually tore loose, but this is quite a bit thicker. A lot more strength right there in that. And then it's got two cutting edges fixed to it on the bottom, so that adds even more strength. But I think it's a good box for the buy. I'm not too bummed about it. I'm gonna load this one up and take it back to my dad's house so he can use it on his machine. But this, aside from big and green, perfect. Stick weld, him. Okay. This is actually a very, very awesome toolbox. Just gotta remember how it goes together. Because there's some pieces. It's got a front headache rack, which is fine. That just bolts right on. But then it's also got a rear one, so it turns it into a pipe rack. It's got that nasty tear right there. One over here isn't so bad, but it's starting to fail. But we can get that groomed up. Alright, clamps and ratchet tie outs are your friend. Perfect. Awesome. Burning it up. Oh, did you see that weird burning it just did? That was crazy. Gotta get down in there somehow. Let's see if you guys approve of this style a little bit better. Make sure it didn't boil through and weld it together. Oh, wow, that feels so much stronger. Oh, jeez. It only goes up that far. A little bit, this side turned out a lot better, except for that puddle down there. Just trying to give it some structure. So they say, just trying to give it some structure. No, freaking second time welding with this thing. It's holding together, that's all we need. I just wanted to tell the story of this grapple. I think it's kind of cool. My dad built this thing back in the day. I'm going to say probably around 2000. And you can see parts of it are sweet. Parts of it, the idea back in the day was just use some old axles. And some of the axles held up good, and then some of them just bent the mounts and stuff like that. This is just a piece of pipe that he heated and bent in sections, which is pretty cool to see something like that. Got the 4-bolt cylinders, the old classics, and check this out, the classicness of it here. That's how he used to swap it back in the day before the skid steer quick attach was like a thing. Like Amazon, that's easy to get that stuff now. But you see the pins, that would be for something like here, or for here, and this one up here for the cylinder. So that it was actually quite a task back in the day. I remember helping my dad many a times with this thing to switch from the bucket to this thing. I mean, it was just line it up, move the tractor, line up, move tractor, hit it in there a little bit. As a little kid, kind of like this guy. Should you be climbing on that, Macho? Yeah, so I thought, hop down. I know you got your helmet on for riding your bike, but that ain't gonna help you for rock crawling on the forks. And, oh, that was another thing. For moving he's got wood racks kind of like what I got here, except for these ones I can roll around the shop. But, let's hop you down. Come on. No more climbing on that. Go get your bike out of the shop, would you? So, that was another deal. Is these weren't only his brush rake, like, option. He would take the clamp off so that he could use the forks to move his wood racks around, just like these. So this is something I use continuously all the time. And I mean, I never thought I would use pallet forks as much as I do because they're hydraulic. They're not, you can't move material, but for pretty much everything, it's ridiculous how often you use it. And something like this, it's handy because you got the fork option for moving your racks, but man, he was determined back in the day. And it's really cool to see because with this day and age, you fire up Marketplace or Amazon, you could just order some new stuff and just be done with it for relatively, cheap. And it's for what it is, the price range, it's worth it. It's sad to say. Marketplace just the same, because I got the scraper box the other day. It's just super good deal, and I had to do a little tinking on it, but it is what it is. But this thing here, we're not going to use it. It hasn't been used in 10 years, 20 years. It's been a long time. Well, not 20 years, but probably honestly, 10 years it hasn't been used. So I gave it a turbo can, and we're going to send it on its way. I just wanted to share that story. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Tractor attachment, I did forget to do one thing while this was in the shop, and I have the piece in there. That is weld a receiver hitch back here. And it's got a flat plate for it. I think it'll be fine for what I'm going to do, just light trailer moving. Honestly, I should probably just put a little piece of something underneath it to reinforce it, because I remembered Haas moving his trailers around. He had the receiver tube up here. Arguably too much of it. Is that even attached? Should I just cut half that off? Because you don't even need the back part. I think he did. I don't know if he welded that to it. Oh well. See you guys. Well, I had to move that big toolbox out of here, so the tractor is back down here. So I figured the welder is here, so I might as well weld that hitch on there. Got weld that hitch on there. And this is only like 1/8 inch or something like that. Yeah, it's got the bend right there and vertical. That's really nice. But happens to be a nice block right there. So I'm gonna weld the support there. It's getting machined up over there. I got the Jarvis is working overtime. You know, CNCing some pieces. Anyway, we're gonna weld that on. So we really got to get back to some other stuff. We need to end this video. But man, gotta have the hitch. And I'm debating on bolting this thing. It needs to be like out here. Right there. Just bolt it right like that. Yeah, I think so. It'll weld it. I don't know. Okay, and she's on there, welded up. I think that 3/8 plate, 2 inches wide, 5 7/8 tall is going to be strong enough to assist moving, say, dump trailer and a couple other random things around here. Got my welding settings a little bit better on that one. I haven't welded too much big stuff with this welder yet. It's been a lot of like 14 gauge, 12 gauge kind of stuff. But she got a lot more cranking to go. Let me know if you think those are close. I think they are. I'm happy with it. Down there, I couldn't get too greedy because this thing needs to be able to pop back off for whatever reason they decided to do that. But we'll just leave her like that. Thanks for watching. See you later.